Rank 1. New Agent Trainee. The elevator doors open, and the first thing you notice is how quiet it is. You expected noise, activity, urgency, the controlled chaos of the most famous law enforcement agency in the world, operating at full speed. Instead, the hallway of the FBI Academy at Quantico, Virginia is calm, institutional, and slightly intimidating in the specific way that places with very high standards are intimidating before you have proven to yourself that you belong there. You are a new agent trainee. You have not yet earned the title of special agent. You have not yet earned anything except the right to attempt to earn it, which required passing a background investigation so thorough that investigators spoke to people from your childhood you had not thought about in a decade, a polygraph examination that asked questions you did not expect, a physical fitness test, a written examination, and a panel interview conducted by people whose expressions gave away absolutely nothing about how you were performing. You passed all of it. You are here. The Academy will be your home for the next 21 weeks. Everything you need to become a special agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation will be built here. The legal knowledge, the investigative techniques, the firearms proficiency, the physical conditioning, the specific mental framework that separates a federal agent from every other kind of law enforcement professional. You will learn defensive tactics, evidence collection, interview and interrogation, surveillance, crisis response, and approximately 1,000 other things that combine into a single coherent professional identity by the time graduation arrives. The physical training begins immediately and does not stop. You run, you lift, you train in defensive tactics until the movements are automatic. The firearms qualification is demanding beyond what most people outside this building would expect from a desk-based federal agency. You will qualify with your service pistol, a shotgun, and a rifle, and you will qualify not just standing still at a range in ideal conditions, but moving, under time pressure, in low light, from behind cover, because the situations that require you to draw your weapon will not resemble a static range, and the training refuses to pretend otherwise. The academic load is simultaneously crushing. Constitutional law, federal criminal statutes, rules of evidence, investigative procedure. There are people in this class who came from law enforcement backgrounds and find the physical training manageable, but the academic material overwhelming, and people who came from legal or academic backgrounds and find the reverse. Everyone struggles with something. The ones who make it through are not the ones who struggle least. They are the ones who respond to struggling by working harder rather than by quietly deciding it is too much. You are 27 years old. You have a college degree, 2 years of work experience in a previous career that the Bureau considered relevant to your application, and a reason for wanting this job that is personal enough that you keep it private. You told the panel interview version, the professional, articulable version, but the real version lives somewhere deeper, and it is the real version that gets you out of bed at 05:30 when your body would like another 2 hours, and the academic reading from last night is still not finished. 21 weeks. At the end of them, if you pass every qualification, every examination, every assessment, you will stand in the auditorium at Quantico and receive your credentials and your badge. The badge is gold and blue and carries the seal of the Department of Justice and the words Federal Bureau of Investigation. And when it is placed in your hand for the first time, the weight of it is surprising. Not physically, it is a small thing, but in every other sense, it is the heaviest object you have ever held. You are not there yet. You are in week 1. Your legs ache from this morning's run, and there is a constitutional law examination on Friday that requires your complete attention. You open the textbook. You start reading. Rank 2, Special Agent, Field Office, First Assignment. Your first field office is not the one you requested. This is normal. The Bureau places you where the Bureau needs you, and what the Bureau needs right now is a new agent in an office that is not the glamorous coastal posting you had in the back of your mind during training. You arrive with your credentials, your service weapon, a box's worth of personal items, and the particular combination of excitement and terror that belongs exclusively to the first day of the real job after the training is finished. The training prepared you for the work. It did not prepare you for the culture of an actual field office, which is something that can only be learned from inside it. The veterans, agents with 10, 15, 20 years of experience, observe new arrivals with a professional neutrality that is neither warm nor unwelcoming. They are waiting to see what you actually are. The Academy produces agents. Field offices reveal them. The two are related but not identical, and everyone in this building knows it. You are assigned a supervisor and a senior agent who will function as your mentor for the first year. The mentor relationship in the FBI is not sentimental. Your mentor does not hold your hand. What he does, and it is a man in his late 30s with 14 years in and a flat directness that you quickly learn to appreciate, is take you on every significant interview, every evidence collection, every surveillance operation he runs, and debrief you afterward with a specificity that makes the Academy feedback look gentle. He tells you exactly what you did correctly, exactly what you did incorrectly, and exactly what the difference between the two looks like in practice. He does this not because he enjoys it, but because you are his professional responsibility, and he takes professional responsibility seriously. Your first case is a financial fraud investigation, not a kidnapping, not a counterterrorism operation, not the kind of case that produces the stories people tell at dinner parties. A financial fraud case involving a regional company, forged documents, and a paper trail that needs to be untangled across 3 years of records. You spend more time in front of a computer screen and across interview tables than you spend doing anything that resembles the physical drama of law enforcement. This surprises you. It should not. The Bureau's work is overwhelmingly investigative rather than tactical. An investigation is painstaking, methodical, and largely invisible from the outside. But you are good at it. You find, in the slow, patient process of building a case from evidence outward, a satisfaction that is different from what you expected but real. The moment when the documentary evidence aligns with the witness testimony and the financial records and the whole structure of what actually happened becomes clear and provable, that moment, quiet as it is its own reward. You work long hours. The FBI does not have a culture of leaving at 5 o'clock when the case requires otherwise, and the case always seems to require otherwise. You eat badly, sleep adequately, and spend your limited free time in a way that slowly begins to rebuild the human parts of your life that the job is always gently trying to erode. You learn to protect those parts deliberately because the agents who don't, who give the job everything and leave nothing for the rest of it, develop a specific kind of hollowness by year 10 that you have already observed in enough people to recognize and decide against. After 18 months, you make your first arrest. It is not dramatic. It happens in a parking lot on a Tuesday morning, and the subject complies immediately and says nothing. You place the handcuffs on a man who has stolen $11 million from people who trusted him, and you walk him to the vehicle, and you do it with the same controlled professionalism you were trained to maintain regardless of what you feel. What you feel privately is the clean, specific satisfaction of a job completed correctly. You file it away. You go back to the office. There is already another case waiting. Rank 3. Senior Special Agent. Years do something to you in this job. Not in the dramatic, cinematic way, not in the way that makes for good television. The haunted agent who can't leave the darkness of the cases behind. In a subtler way, they make you more precise. They strip away the interpretive errors that come from inexperience, the tendency to see what you expect rather than what is actually there, to move toward conclusions before the evidence fully supports them, to mistake confidence for correctness. You are a senior special agent now, 5-6 years in. You have worked cases across multiple programs, white-collar crime, cybercrime, a rotation through violent crime that was the most demanding 18 months of your career, a brief attachment to a joint terrorism task force that recalibrated your understanding of what the word threat actually means when it is applied seriously by serious people. You have testified in federal court enough times that the witness box feels familiar. You have written enough affidavits in support of search warrants that the legal language comes naturally, constructed correctly the first time rather than requiring revision. The job has taught you something about people that no formal education could have provided. You have interviewed hundreds of them, suspects, witnesses, victims, informants, experts, and the accumulated experience of reading people in high-stakes conversations, of understanding the gap between what someone is saying and what they actually know, of building the specific kind of rapport that makes a reluctant witness decide to tell you the truth. This knowledge is the most valuable professional tool you possess, and it was built entirely from repetition. You are assigned the complex cases now, the ones that require sustained investigative effort across months or years, that involve multiple subjects and jurisdictions, that require coordination with other agencies and careful management of confidential sources. You carry more simultaneously than you did as a new agent, and you carry it more efficiently. The mental architecture for managing multiple active investigations has been built by years of necessity. You have a new agent of your own now. assigned to your cases, watching everything you do with the same focused attention you once directed at your mentor. You find yourself delivering the same kind of specific, honest debriefs that shaped you, telling her exactly what worked and exactly what didn't and exactly why the difference matters. You understand now what the mentor relationship actually is. It is not generosity. It is the mechanism by which the institution reproduces quality across generations. You are passing forward what was passed to you, and the chain goes back to the beginning of the Bureau itself. Rank 4. Supervisory Special Agent. The promotion to Supervisory Special Agent is the point at which the job fundamentally changes in nature. You have been, until now, an investigator, the person doing the work directly, building the cases, conducting the interviews, executing the warrants. As a supervisor, you step back from the direct investigative work and into something different. You manage a squad. You are responsible for the work of 8 to 12 agents, for the quality and legality and effectiveness of every investigation your squad is running simultaneously. This transition is harder than the promotion itself suggests. You are excellent at the direct work. You were promoted because of that excellence. And now the direct work is no longer your primary function. Your primary function is making other people excellent at it. These are related skills. They are not the same skill. Some of the best investigators the Bureau has ever produced made poor supervisors because the translation between doing something well and enabling others to do it well requires a completely different set of abilities, and not everyone makes the crossing successfully. You make it, not immediately, not without adjustment, but you make it. You learn to give agents enough autonomy to develop their own judgment while maintaining enough oversight to catch errors before they become problems. You learn the specific art of the supervisory review, reading case documentation with enough attention to identify both what is missing and what is unnecessarily present, communicating your assessment in a way that builds the agent's capability rather than simply correcting the immediate mistake. The administrative load is significant. Budget management, personnel evaluations, coordination with the Assistant United States Attorney's Office on prosecutive decisions, liaison with other agencies, oversight of confidential source relationships that require your personal sign-off. The paperwork that agents complain about multiplies at the supervisory level in ways that are difficult to explain until you are inside it. But there are moments, specific moments in specific cases, when everything your squad has built comes together into something prosecutable and clean and airtight, and those moments belong to you in a different way than the direct casework did. When your squad's investigation results in a conviction, you are not the person who built every piece of it. You are the person who created the conditions in which it could be built. That is a quieter satisfaction. It is also a deeper one. Rank 5. Assistant Special Agent in Charge. You are in management now, in the full sense of the word. As Assistant Special Agent in Charge, ASAC, of a field office, you oversee multiple squads, multiple programs, the operational functioning of a significant portion of one of the Bureau's field installations. The cases that reach your desk are the ones that require senior judgment. The sensitive investigations, the ones with political dimensions, the ones where the investigative decision and the institutional decision are not necessarily the same thing, and someone with the authority and experience to navigate that gap needs to be in the room. You have been in the Bureau long enough now to have seen how it actually works beneath the institutional surface. The tensions between field offices and headquarters, between operational priorities and resource constraints, between the Bureau's investigative mission and the political environment it operates inside. You navigate these tensions daily. Not always cleanly. The ACC position is where you discover that the clear ethical and professional framework that felt absolute at the agent level becomes more complex when you are the person responsible for institutional decisions that affect dozens of careers and hundreds of cases simultaneously. You are in your early 40s. You have given this institution a significant portion of your adult life. Your clearance level, your operational knowledge, your understanding of how federal law enforcement actually functions, these things have accumulated into something that is genuinely valuable and genuinely rare. You carry them with the particular understated confidence of someone who has nothing left to prove and everything left to do. Rank 6. Special Agent in Charge. One field office, yours. As Special Agent in Charge, you are the senior FBI official in your geographic area. The person who speaks for the Bureau publicly when a significant case breaks, the person who represents the institution to the U.S. Attorney, to state and local law enforcement, to the community. The investigative work that consumed your early career is now entirely mediated through the people who work for you. Your job is leadership, vision, resource allocation, and the particular responsibility of maintaining an organization's integrity and effectiveness under the pressure that senior leadership always applies. You walk the floors of your field office on a Tuesday morning. You pass agents at desks who are doing the work you once did, building cases, drafting affidavits, preparing for interviews, staring at screens full of financial records looking for the thread that pulls the whole thing apart. Some of them look up and nod. Some are too deep in their work to notice you passing. You remember both versions of that, the days when you noticed everything and the days when the case had you so completely that a hurricane could have moved through the office and you would have registered it only as a distraction. You stop at the window at the end of the floor. Outside, the city your office covers goes about its business. The businesses and the neighborhoods and the millions of individual lives that are the reason this institution exists. Somewhere in that city, right now, there are people planning things that will require your agent's attention. There are victims who don't yet know they are victims. There are cases that haven't started yet, that will consume years of your office's capacity, that will result in prosecutions that protect people who will never know they were protected. You think about the elevator doors at Quantico opening onto that quiet hallway. You think about a gold and blue badge placed in your hand for the first time and the unexpected weight of it. You think about every case, every arrest, every witness who decided to tell the truth, every conviction that closed something that needed closing. The city keeps moving outside your window. Your agents keep working behind you. The cases keep building piece by careful piece toward whatever justice looks like this week in the jurisdiction of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's field office that is yours to lead, yours to protect, and yours to be accountable for. You turn away from the window. There is a briefing in 12 minutes and preparation is not optional. You go back to work.